All right, guys, welcome to the World of Concrete 2026. We are here at the DEWALT booth. We're going to take you through. We're going to check out these tools. Follow me. This looks like something new.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
So this is our DEWALT robotic drilling solution. So we got approached by a contractor who was drilling thousands of holes a day, well, not a day, but over the course of a job in data centers. And they're like, my guys hate this work. It's weeks of work, bent over, drilling holes, and they came to us like, hey, there's got to be a better way to do this. So we partnered up with a local company actually here in Las Vegas called Robotics, who developed a highly accurate robot for doing convention marking. So they paint lines on the ground. So they could direct the robot where to go, and we're like, hey, we're really good at drilling holes in the ground. So we mounted our rotary hammer and our dust extractor on there and worked with them to create a fleet-based robot. So you can actually have more than one of these running at the same time.
Oh, nice. So you'll download a program wherever you want the holes on the entire floor. You let it go?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, so this would be like for mounting data center equipment and
server racks, structural steel to support your, your HVAC units, things like that.
Nice.
And for these contractors, they love it because they get really accurate holes in the right place every time. They're straight. You don't have to worry about going side to side as guys get tired throughout the day.
It eliminates operator error.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The operators can focus on running the robot. They run it right off the tablet here. We train local steam fitters on how to use it. They run the robot from here. They change the bags and the bits out every now and then as they run through that. But really what it's given them is a great way to make their work go faster, and it's a lot safer too.
That's awesome. So it runs off battery?
Yeah, runs off of a battery, all off one battery, and then the system is designed to scale as they have more work. So I can run 2, 4, 6, 8 robots all at the same time. So if they need the project done faster, they just have more robots.
It's kind of perfect timing. The data centers are kind of exploding all over the country. I know over in Wisconsin, I think we're building a couple right now, or they're in the works at least.
Yeah, we're working right now with one of the largest hyperscalers in the world, so we're looking to work with more folks like that. So we just launched this literally yesterday.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
So we're really happy with the timing and the fact that it's been proving itself on job sites already. So what it does is it works off something similar to a total station. So just like you said, you get your points from the contractor to see where it needs to go. It's going to talk to that guiding station over there and say, hey, where am I? So it drives roughly where it needs to be, and then it'll hone in and get closer to where it needs to be via that.
I'm sure the accuracy is just precise.
1/8 of an inch accuracy.
1/8 of an inch.
Yeah,
wow.
to within tolerance. And also, again, perfectly straight every single time.
Right.
So once it checks in and determines where it needs to be, if you come around here, you can actually see we got the rotary hammer right here. It'll lower the rotary hammer down, turn on the dust extractor, pull all the dust out, mark on the tablet what's done so the site team knows what's coming next.
Yep.
Then it moves on to the next hole.
It's nice.
This will do anywhere from 1 inch to 12-inch holes today. The model we're coming out with this summer will go 14 inches deep, 1.5 inches in diameter. When we started working with the contractor on this, they were doing 7,000 holes in 7 weeks, manually laid out.
7,000 holes.
7,000 holes.
Oh, I can't imagine doing that manually.
4 robots, 7 days.
Nice. That's clean too.
Yeah.
That came out clean, which is important.
Yep.
That
Clean,
saves time
line
as well.
Yeah. So it'll just keep moving on the next hole. The line itself averages about 20 to 40 holes per hour per robot, depending on how deep and how big of a hole you're making.
And then as far as how long the batteries last, change them out every
2 to 4 hours, again, depends on
that's a long
size,
time. That's a
depth
long
of hole.
time, yeah.
And you can hot swap the batteries out. So you just take one battery out, put another battery in, and you're right back up and running.
Beautiful. All right, so these are brand new tools. I have not seen these before. First time seeing these here. You want to tell me about these? I have the small version, a saw like this, and I've said it actually on video several times. That little saw has been the MVP tool for 2 years running now. So, but this is a bigger saw. This is something we're familiar with, the gas-powered version, obviously. So tell me about this one.
Absolutely. So this is our new 12-inch cutoff saw. It is the most powerful cordless cutoff saw in the industry, regardless of power source, in the 12 and 14-inch class. It delivers a 4 3/4 inch depth of cut, and is equipped with a direct drive transmission here. So it's gear driven, which is going to give it that power, and it's going to power efficiency from the motor to the blade, and it's going to allow for that runtime, that extra runtime. A matter of fact, in 4,000 PSI concrete, number 8 bar on 8-inch centers, it's going to give you about 8.5 foot of length or cutting 156 pieces of number 5 rebar on one charge. And as you notice, it rolled along, has rollers along the bottom.
Oh, that's
which
nice.
allows
Then
it
you're
to
not
just
holding all
glide
that
right
weight.
along.
So I'm telling you, when you saw for, I don't know, more than 5 feet, the saws get heavy. So those
Exactly.
rollers on the front are going to be nice.
It almost pulls you through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really nice feature. You like to give it a try?
Yeah, I got to try this.
Okay, it's connected too, so you get water on demand. As soon as you pull the trigger, you get water, you let off, it stops.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I love those rollers.
I was going to say, what'd you
I
think?
love those rollers.
Yep.
Yeah. I got to get one of these.
MVP?
It could possibly be this year's MVP, 2026.
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for this to come out.
We're excited. It's going to be out in November.
Yep. So you got something else new over here? I haven't seen this. So this is something new too. I'm very familiar with these.
You're very familiar with these.
Not the battery-powered version, but jackhammers. Yeah,
Okay.
we have a good relationship.
Good or mixed? Or,
Yeah, we have a relationship.
There you go. So are you familiar with the current one that we have that's on the FlexVolt platform? So the 40-pound breaker we have. So as we've continued with PowerShift, the
Yep.
whole goal of PowerShift is be able to offer the complete concrete workflow from start to finish. And you know better than anybody at this point, it's really hard to build anything these days without doing demolition first. Typically you got to tear something
Yep.
down. So as we started getting closer to the approach of the launch of the cordless cutoff saw, we wanted to be able to continue along the PowerShift line to offer that solution by completing that part of the workflow and that application of cut and break. Typically, if you're cutting concrete, you've probably got to break it as well. So we took a demolition hammer that we already had that from a performance aspect was great. Our users loved it. They liked it. The power was what they needed. For a specialty contractor, it was great. Smaller contractors, it was good. But to really get in with the true demolition contractor, we had to offer them more runtime. So we basically took what was good with that demolition hammer and we added the PowerShift pack to it to get that extended runtime to be able to complete those larger applications. We weren't satisfied with just doing a battery swap. At that point, we took the opportunity to really upgrade this unit to make it best in class in every way, shape, and form we could. So we upgraded the impact energy by about 25% from what it was today. So it's now the hardest hitting hammer in its class, has the highest demolition rate, but at the same time, we want to make sure if you're using it longer, you're comfortable while you're doing it. So we're actually able to reduce the hand-arm vibration by about 20% from what was out there before, to the point that now it's the lowest hand-arm vibration of any of these hammers in their class.
Beautiful.
So you're getting more runtime, less vibration. It's connected, so it's got our wireless tool control feature on it, just like our saw does. So when it's connected to our DWV015 extractor, using our shroud, you're Table 1 compliant while you're braking. So a couple of the features that we've added to it, you've got removable side handles. Onboard tool storage is right on back. So when you pull the handles off, the bolts stay embedded in the handle so they don't fall out, you don't lose them. So if you're doing any 45-degree applications, if you're digging with it, we've got the auxiliary bail handle. You can grab it by the top, grab it by the bottom. And then you don't lose the bolts, you don't lose the tool. handling that like a man who's done this before.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It's awesome, man.
How's it feel? Hand-arm vibration.
That's actually super important. The arm vibration. You run these for a little while, you'll wear it out.
Yep.
So I actually own both of these. Well, I haven't used this one a lot. I've used it some.
Okay.
On my new building. I built a new building and we use these pieces of equipment around it quite a bit. This thing we've used on job sites. I actually made videos with this thing and I've been pretty impressed. I would have never thought that a battery-powered compactor could last as long as it does. So we did a driveway patio front sidewalk. It got almost to the end on one battery. So it was easy. You always have one on the charge. You swap them out and you can keep moving along.
Very nice.
It's never been a problem.
I love to hear that. So that was the ultimate goal behind PowerShift, was to try and be able to give you the maximum amount of runtime that we can, knowing you're replacing gas. You're used to that, and we've got to get at least close with the kit was the goal, especially with these tools. As you know, they're high demand tools, they take a lot of power. The goal was to be able to provide you with enough of a power source to get as close to that runtime of gas that you were used to. So I love to hear that, that's the type of work and you've got the experience using it. So anything specific that you like better than on it that you think of feature-wise that you were just like, wow?
Honestly, this is a piece of equipment that we would use sporadically.
Okay.
What I liked about it is it would sit in the shop and you didn't have to worry about if it was going to start. You didn't have to worry about if the gas was bad. You grab the battery. I always have a battery on the chargers in the shop.
Okay.
You throw a battery in and then you know it's ready to go. Yeah, that's what I loved about it, honestly. It was always available and you knew that it was going to run.
Nice. So, and that was the feedback that we received from users as we were building that, is the reliability of it being battery powered versus gas. There's no maintenance with that. It comes standard with the water tank and the wheel kit on it. So
the wheel kit's nice, especially when you're wheeling it around the shop.
Yep.
Flip the wheels down, boom.
Otherwise,
you're dragging them across the concrete.
Dragging around, plates dragging, grinding in. So it was kind of a no-brainer to offer that. I mean, a lot of people asked, should it be an accessory? And it was like, absolutely not. I mean, this is something you've got to transport. It's not easy to do.
It flips up out of the way, so it's not a problem.
Yep. So the the biggest piece of feedback we had on both of these pieces of machinery as we were developing were being able to control it and control the speeds. And when you're in tight areas, you don't necessarily need full impact energy. To be able to reduce that, dial it down to get a little bit more control if you're in confined spaces.
Yeah, so sidewalks and stuff where it's small, it's nice. You can lower the speed, you can make your turns.
Yep, so we're able to implement the 2 speeds on it. The big thing that I noticed while we were out in the field was with gas-powered units for a plate compactor, in order to turn the machine off, you would have to take your hand off the control, reach down and shut it off.
In front of the motor.
In front of the motor.
Switch is, yes.
Exactly. So you've got a piece of machinery that's moving, it's running. You got to take a hand off of it to shut it down. So the biggest thing that we found from talking to users like yourself was controls need to be mounted on the handle. They need to be able to have a firm grip, comfortable, safe, easy to use. So with that, we wanted to make sure that if we were bringing you something that was going to replace gas power equipment, we were giving you equivalent power. So when you look at it, we've got 3,600 pounds of impact force on this tool. We've got 2,600 pounds on the plate, or the rammer itself too. Both have the fastest forward travel speed in their class. And what does that mean? It means you get more work done in less passes faster and maximum runtime.
That's what it's all about. All right, so the Power Screed, I actually own this tool as well. And one of the things that I love about this tool, it's pretty similar to the compactor, where it's something that we don't use all the time. We hand screed most of our jobs, but when we do need a power screed, this is in the shop, it's ready to go. I have a gas-powered one, but honestly, I have no idea if it's gonna start. This thing is awesome. I grab a battery off the charger, I put it in, we can go. Another thing I loved about this is I already had screed boards from different manufacturers, and you guys sold a kit where it adapts different manufacturers' screed boards right to the machine. So I was actually able to use what I already own and put it on there. I didn't have to buy something else.
Absolutely, and that was the whole idea behind that design. While we were doing our research, we realized that most users had multiple size screed boards. They had more money invested in their boards than they did the tool more often than not. So we're already bringing you into a new technology. We're trying to change your behavior. The last thing we wanted to do was have you need to invest further to be able to convert over and then eliminate everything you already had. So we thought it was important to be able to not just bolt up an L-shaped beam with 7 or 9 inch hole spacing, but to be able to bolt up all the most common boards that you have. So whether it be one of the triangular style or one of the lever screw styles, want to be able to make sure you had the ability to use it. So, and the other part that was important was not to do it at an additional cost. So when you purchase the Screed, all of the adapters for about 80 to 85% of the most common board styles in the industry come with the tool itself.
I remember unboxing this, and I was hoping that there was an adapter in there somewhere that was gonna get my board onto it, and I found it right away. I put it together. I was pretty pleased with that.
That's great.
Another thing that I really appreciated about this, because I do own another brand of power screed that's battery operated, which I had bought previously.
Yes, sir.
And I used it twice. I gave it a fair chance on a driveway. I tried to use it, and it did not have enough vibrating power. And I gave it one more chance after that, and then it got put in the shed, and I've never touched it since. So what I liked about this is it had all the power that we needed, and it had the vibrating power where you could actually walk it back. So if they don't have enough power, they're completely useless.
And again, I love to hear that, because that was going back to what we were talking about with the rammer and the plate compactor, was if we're going to replace a gas power tool, it needs to have the power of a gas power tool. So we made sure that we took the most common ones that were out there from gas. We made sure we were able to match them from a vibration perspective, max vibration, as well as an impact perspective with the eccentric on it, to be able to have the power to break a cold joint. That was the ultimate goal. And if you can't break a cold joint, why have it at that point? So how's the runtime on it for you?
I've never had to change a battery in the middle of a pour. They run, this in particular runs for quite a while.
So in our testing, we had it to be about 40% longer with a 16-foot Screed board than a tank of gas on the most common gas-powered one that's out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what would you say the biggest area you've done with it is?
We've poured basement floor with it, or no, shed floor. Shed floor. So
how big of a
we
volume
haven't
running?
even gotten close to draining a battery, put it that way.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And what about the adjustability? Do you usually have one
The
guy using it?
handles are nice, because these, it depends on your size and your build.
Yes, sir.
So these you can actually turn around both directions. You can put your handles up and down, so you have full adjustability. I really like that about this piece. Because running these, it can get, for the operator, it can get pretty tiring, especially if you're jammed up here. It'll burn your biceps out. It's just uncomfortable. Especially the key to these is to have good rakers. So if you don't have good rakers, these are kind of useless, but I like the adjustability and the amount of power that it has. I found myself not even running it at full speed. So I had to back off a little bit.
Nice. And that's been what I've learned from it, seeing it out in the field, is it reacts a little bit different than gas at first, because the way the electric motor versus gas, and you see once you kind of find that sweet spot for the slump that you're working with, it just flows.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of the sound.
Yeah.
The sound that it's making, you hit that frequency and you just walk it back.
Oh, that's great to hear. So onboard tool storage for all your adjustments. So you don't lose the wrench. We made it simple. We made a 6mm hex.
Contractors never lose tools.
No, that doesn't happen. What style board are you running? Are you using the adapters, or are you using an L shape?
No, we had to use an adapter.
So one of the things we noticed while we were going out doing research when it came to the L-shaped boards is you've got a bolt and you've got a lock nut on the front. And you need two tools to be able to replace that, transfer the bar from one to another. And what we started to see was there was a lot of contamination on the threads of the bolts themselves. So once you pulled that lock nut off, it was done. And if you didn't have a replacement, you know how hard these things vibrate, and what they hit, you'd see them start to back out, and then the board would get loose. So one of the things that we looked at when we did this was, if you're using an L shape, one, we wanted to make the blade change simple. So we've got an 18mm bolt that comes in the back side. Our lock nut is housed inside this aluminum block. So you only need one tool to change it. It protects the threads, protects the lock nut for longevity, to be able to use it and not have damage to it. So in order to put the triangular style adapter on, you take that off, you mount that in place of this. You can put that lock nut in the back of the triangular style adapter, and if you have L-shaped boards, you don't have to take that adapter off ever again. You can actually use that the way it is to continue to bolt it back on without having to make any more changes.
All right, so batteries, cordless battery technology has come a long way since I first got into cordless tools. So why don't you talk a little bit about what we have here?
Yeah, so Ryan, with more and more batteries in the job site, users need to recharge bulk batteries. Sometimes they don't have availability of power enough to keep charging all those batteries. So overnight charging is something that is really helpful for users these days.
That's what we do. We have a station inside. We keep our batteries charging all night long, and we're ready for the morning. If we're using multiple batteries, we can't charge them all at the job site. We just need them ready and fully charged. When we get to the job, they're ready to go.
Right, and if you're recharging multiple batteries, chances are that you might trip a breaker overnight, and next morning you don't have any batteries that are charged, right? So
I've been there. I've been there.
You've been there
multiple times.
Yeah, we heard that from users all the time. So we're coming out with our new DEWALT 15 amp power controller. It's going to monitor and control power distribution here to avoid tripping breakers. So what it does is you can connect up to 6 chargers, any charger. It doesn't need to be a 4-port charger, and the unit will limit the amount of current being pulled by these chargers to not exceed 15 amps, so you never trip a breaker. So what is you'll be able to recharge up to 24 batteries in less than 5 hours, 24 9-amp batteries in less than 5 hours with 6 4-port chargers and 1 power controller. You can even expand that daisy chain a second one, and you'll be able to recharge 44 8-amp batteries in less than 9 hours with 2 controllers and 11 4-port chargers.
This is probably perfect for those big commercial contractors that have several crews and guys running all over with cordless tools. That's perfect.
Yeah, we see batteries all around on job sites, so this helps to organize and make sure that they have enough recharged batteries the next morning. The unit is wall mountable, and it has LEDs that will indicate which outlets are active and which outlets are waiting to be activated after the previous outlets, the previous chargers are already done recharging all those batteries. So you don't have to worry about thinking about swapping out chargers. The unit will do that for you.
Yeah, it just cycles through as soon as they're ready.
Right. And you can daisy chain up to 3 of those, expanding your capacity to recharge overnight about 64 batteries.
Nice. So this is something brand new from DEWALT. I have not seen this tool at all.
Yeah, this is our cordless duplex fastening system from DEWALT, right? So this is our DCN 910 duplex nailer. This is the industry's lightest battery-powered duplex nailer, 8.7 pounds. But what sets our system apart is our proprietary fasteners, right? So we have 8-penny nails, 16-penny nails, 2 most common sizes used in the duplex world. And you can see we have large head sizes on top. That spacing that you're used to in your common bulk nails allows for easy nail removal at the job sites, which, as you know, with duplex nails, that's half the battle.
Yeah, exactly. So when we put formwork together, you got to keep in mind it always has to come back out.
Yes.
So you always want to put it in at the right angle. You got to think about what you're doing. Duplex nails or screws, it all has to come right back out right when you're done pouring the concrete. So.
Yep. Just pull the trigger, bump fire mode, get to work. Beats hand nailing.
Oh man, that thing is awesome.
$4.99 MSRP. We have the box of nails come in 2,000 count for 8-penny, 16-penny, and then we can show the nail removal behind you there. We got the frame nailers with the pool on the side. Real easy. You get that first head, you come in for the second head, and you're on your way to your next nail. Simple enough.
The way this works is put your fluid in there, whatever liquid you want. You're going to turn it on with the button here, and this is your flow dial.
So 10 settings?
10 different flow settings.
Okay.
Higher flow will give you the higher PSI. You can get up to 150 PSI on this thing.
Wow.
We wanted to give the user what they're paying for. So we recognize that it's going to be a little higher price point than the steel canister sprayer. It'll be about double what those cost.
Right.
And so there's always going to be some feedback like, man, I use these as throwaway, etc. So we wanted them to be able to put it on and say, oh, this performs so much better. There's 2 methods of thinking of why we did this. One, there's a convenience aspect, or safety aspect rather. is with the steel canister sprayers, you can have up to 40 pounds in that sprayer that you're holding with one hand at the side of your body.
Yep.
And taking up the other side, your other hand, with a wand, sprayer wand. So say you're stepping at the side of a deep form where you're stepping over rebar, you're on an uneven surface, it's a big time tripping hazard. You're carrying a very heavy steel container, so if someone bumps into you, you're falling over. So that's why we did the backpack option. It gives a better center of gravity, much more stability when you're walking, spraying forms, spraying a surface, etc. But also a lot less fatigue on your,
definitely.
your arm and your shoulder and your back. So we're trying to save the guys long term as well.
Another thing with the steel canisters is when you're carrying them with one hand, if you turn, that handle can actually twist and it'll send the canister right to the ground. I actually had a guy that I knew, the canister landed right on his toe and it broke his toe. So, because if you twist that handle, you know, it's free, so the whole thing will just drop right to the ground. And that's happened to me several times.
That's why they gave us the steel toes.
Yeah, as you can see.
That's the one piece of it. And the other piece is the efficiency standpoint. Is running a battery sprayer, you're maintaining constant pressure. So with those pump sprayers, you have to, whether it's a backpack or a steel canister, you have to consistently pump it to keep that pressure up. And it's
I know. I absolutely hate pumping those sprayers.
And then, so with that, what happens is you're taking time away from your job. It's taking time to do that. It's taking time to build the pressure back up. As your pressure goes down, your distance goes down, your gallons per minute goes down. So with that constant flow, you can do the job significantly faster.
It'll give you that constant pressure.
In the course of a couple jobs, this thing pays for itself in the amount of time saved.
Absolutely.
So with that, we also did replaceable nozzles, replaceable tip. We have 6 different nozzles with onboard nozzle storage right here.
Nice.
In conjunction with those 10 flow settings, we wanted to make sure we cover the widest variety of applications we could. And then it works very simple. Turn it on. This is flow 10. Down to flow 1. Constant pressure, no pumping. And again, you can get up to 150 PSI on that. 0.9 gallons per minute of flow, 70 gallons per charge, which will get you about 10,000 square yards of coverage on one charge. And if you wanted to spray a distance, you can do 37 feet with the jet
stream. Sure, it's awesome.
So then that's the piece that we wanted to give the user what they paid for. All those specs are best in class for concrete chemical sprayers right now. We're giving you the best one on the market to make your job more convenient, more efficient, but also funner to do.
Nice. Okay, rotary hammers, and what do we have here?
We have anchors. This is our lineup of anchors. So after you drill the hole, you need to fill it with something. So this is our lineup here that you can see from mechanical and chemical. We also now have some new made in the USA anchors coming out this year as well. So if you have that job where you need to meet that spec, we have you covered for that.
Looks like you have all different sizes of rotary hammers, from small to quite large.
Yes, very, very large here, our 1.5 inch bit on our 2-inch hammer. But when we talk about rotary hammers, we talk about perform and protect. And for us, perform and protect in rotary hammers, we talk about our shocks. We lead with our shocks here. So as you can see in this handle, it's going to take the vibration not to you. The tool is going to absorb that as you're drilling. And then we also talk about control in perform and protect. We talk about the ability to have anti-rotation. So as I'm drilling here, if I go to hit a piece of rebar, the tool will shut off. So that way the user is safe, doesn't get spun around, knocked in the face, as I'm sure you've seen many times before.
That has happened before.
On a site, so we want to make sure the user that's using this is doing it safe and effective all day long with that. The other thing when we talk about our perform and protect, we talk about our hollow drill bit here. So you can see we have 2 holes. It's hooked up to our dust extractor. And what this will do, this will actually suck up the dust as you're drilling. So it's going to keep you safe. It's Table 1 compliant. And this also allows you, with our hammer, our vacuum system, you're going to go ahead and be Table 1 compliant, but you have the ability to put in your epoxy or your anchor directly away without having to do the standard brush blow method. So increased productivity, obviously we know that's where the savings is. We can get that to you, so that's where we go ahead and set this up. Not on our small hammers, just our small hammers, but we have our Tool Connect. You can hear the vacuum. When I pull the trigger, the vacuum will kick on with our Tool Connect that's paired wirelessly as well. Now you were saying you use a lot of Ultracons?
Yeah, a lot of Ultracons we'll use for form work. And then we also drill a lot of 3/8 and 1/2-inch holes when we dowel existing or dowel our new work into existing work. So we'll drill a lot of holes, a lot of rebar dowels.
Okay.
And yeah, we do a lot of anchors too when you're setting stoops and steps. The Ultracons, that's where they come into play.
Perfect.
So
Let's go ahead.
we use a lot of these.
Awesome. Well, I got you set up here. We're going to go ahead and have you test our new Ultracon install system with our drill, our masonry bit, our sleeve for install, and then we have our dust protection as well here that we're going to go ahead and turn on once we get set up.
So the Ultracons, we do a lot of temporary formwork, stairs, stoops, and so forth. So we're doing a lot of anchoring with these guys right here.
Okay.
I saw you guys had something new. I was really curious about what this is.
This is our Ultracon install bit that's going to go directly over the size that you need for drilling. Whatever your head is on the Ultracon, you can put that bit in the tip, and now you're ready to install directly after drilling.
Well, I got to check this thing out.
All right,
Go ahead.
All
I
right,
wanna
I'm going to
see.
set you up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the vacuum on so that way we have table 1 compliant. We're keeping our dust. I'm going to drill the hole, and then we're going to go ahead and install it.
All right.
Let's do it. Go ahead and clean the hole. Now, turn the vacuum off. And for our install, slide over, make sure your bit's locked, and if I could have the Ultracon, please. Thank you. Now we're done. So typically, if you're doing that all day,
typically we'll have the impact and the rotary hammer, so you got to go back and forth, and then one of my guys will grab one or the other and then run off with it. Who took my impact?
Now you can't do it.
I've never seen that before.
that's what we're here to
I've
show.
never
is
seen that
innovation.
before.
So if it can help you with your install time, get you faster at your job, that's what we're here to do. So that's
So
what we want
one
to show.
tool, you're drilling and you're installing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's what we're here to do, and hopefully you like it, Ryan. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
That is nice. That's why I come to the world of concrete, is to find tools that are going to make jobs more efficient. That's awesome.
But really the core focus here is just bringing awareness to the fact that we have a lot of these products that we're not necessarily always known for, but we do offer them in our range, and it's a growing segment for us. First on the wall here, as we were just discussing, is our diamond blade portfolio, which ranges everything from our XP line, which is priority of block, brick, clean concrete, and as you go up in the range, you're getting more into your reinforced, your green, and even your asphalt. So really the benefits are the diamond segments for longevity of life, and when you go up to our XP7 line, there's a coated segment which just helps improve the life of that blade through those tough materials such as your reinforced, your asphalt, and your green concrete. But it's really a segment of products that we're not necessarily known for, but I think we're going to become known for in the upcoming years as we innovate in the tool space as well. So a lot of exciting stuff here to come.
The bits, we use bits,
Oh, the bits
all
are-
the time as well.
Yeah.
We use the little guys at 3/16 for installing the Ultracons, 1/2-inch, very common.
This one
3/8.
is highly used. But I think the benefit here is, we have this range and it's all made in Germany in our own facility. So we design and manufacture these bits ourselves, which I think is a really good point to push through, because, we take a lot of pride in what goes behind these bits to, amplify the drilling quality when going through base material. So really at the bottom here is our 2-cutter line, which is your bread and butter, which a lot of guys are using the 2-cutter bits, speed of going through the material, but everything from 5/32 up to 1 1/8. And then when you get into your 4-cutter range, for our SDS Plus, you're, as you mentioned, 3/16 being a really hot one for Ultracons, and then all the way up to 1 1/8 diameter as well. One thing that people overlook is this anchor wear mark indicator that we have on our bits, which is that little piece on the side there, where once that wears down, that hole size is no longer suitable for anchor installation. So it's a little tidbit that isn't really talked about a lot.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so when you're installing these for anchors, you want to look for that, and if it's worn down and it's flush with the bit, it's not suitable for anchor installation which is
So
just a nice
it's a wear guide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when you get up to your SDS Max, you know, you're talking 1/2 inch all the way up to 2 inch diameter, full head of carbide here, rebar strike resistant, since a lot of times you are going to be going through reinforced material when you're doing your SDS Max drilling.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, you know, at the bottom here, full
Chisel-
range of demo
chisel
steel
bits, demos.
as well, which is, you know, Hex, SDS Plus, SDS Max. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing me that.
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, rotary lasers. I do have a DEWALT model already, but this is a new model.
Yep, this is going to be our new improved green XR rotary laser. And here is really what's going to separate it from our old laser is our new remote control detector. So with this, you'll get the 2,000 foot working range, and you'll get your accuracy of a 1/16 of an inch at 100 feet. And then what our 3 main features for this guy is for our concrete users is going to be the single slope function. So you'll get 12.5% plus or minus of slope for this.
Nice.
So any kind of ramp or driveway that you're setting. And then we also offer the scan angle, so you can do 30, 60, 90, or 180, so you can control the area that you're working in. So if you're just working in a corner, you can set your laser just to be at that. Here is setting the scan angle, so you can see it.
So you can turn it on right from the receiver.
You'll have to turn it on with the actual, but you can control everything afterwards with this.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can kind of make it a one-person job as soon as you set it and turn it on.
Yeah.
Yep. So 15 degrees here, 30, 60, and then 90, and then you'll see the dot as you're controlling your work environment.
This will lift a little bit more weight than you would expect, right?
340 pounds.
340 pounds.
340
with a
pounds.
little hand jack.
Yep.
That's
and
incredible.
if it's down on the floor, you're hanging a door, you can also hand jack or foot jack, right?
Oh yeah.
So with that top design there, you can put this up into place, get it into position if you've got larger sheet good or something like that you're trying to do. Drywallers have used it to get a nice tight joint. So yeah, this has been a big hit and a lot of creative uses out there.
Yeah.
So what the extension arm will do, we'll take the, my dad joke of the day is take the jack to new heights, right? 27 inches max lifting height, slides right on here, locks into place. We've got a couple different detents for quick adjust, and then obviously as you fully extend this all the way up to 27 inches. Still maintaining 340 pound lift capacity, so by adding this, you don't lose any capacity that the jack has. And my favorite, almost hidden feature, is right up top. You remove our protective non-marring cap, and then it's a spring-load design here.
Check that out.
We'll accept 2x material.
Wow, that's awesome.
So if I'm doing a deck job by myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm trying to hang this joist. I got it in the hanger on one side. How am I going to balance this and get it up to position on the other? This is that third hand on the other side for you.
Super handy tool.
You put a couple of these together, lifting up larger materials.
Sure.
Kind of use it as a cantilever. So yeah, this is exciting. Coming out in April.
This has been out. This is coming out.
Yes.
The
Yep.
extension.
Yep. So really excited about this one. It's gonna be a $49.99 retail, and then at the same time, we'll also launch as a separate SKU our protective pads. So this will fit right there on the bottom. So if you're on a protected surface, maybe a countertop or a finished floor, something like that, you don't want to mark up or
Yep.
scuff up, you got the protective boot. Also adds a little bit more friction there, so you're not going to have any sliding issues. And then the little baby shoe here goes up top here if you're lifting softer materials you don't want to mark up or don't want to have slippage, anything like that. The protective cover will go there as well. Also available in April. And those will be at I think $9.99 retail.
Nice.
So yeah, we're excited. A lot of buzz about this. People coming up, looking at it. Hey, I already have the construction jack. This is great. I could use the extra height.
If you get this in the hands of tradesmen, they will discover all types of ways to utilize this.
Absolutely. That's what we found so far. Can't wait to see what you and everyone else come up with the extension arm.
Nice.
All right, so what we got here is our two most powerful circuit saws that we offer today, both in our 60-volt flexible platform. It's our DCS 578 and our 577. Main difference, rear handle worm drive style versus our Sidewinder. giving you the power, the performance, the productivity that you need to get through a full day's job of work with our 60-volt battery platform, our 9-amp-hour battery and 15-amp. Here I'll show you kind of some of our most important piece of it is that you talk about OSB and cutting stacks of wood and maybe gang cutting. We get the depth of cut to be able to get through a triple stack 3/4 inch OSB in one pass without binding, pinching, or stalling. So here I'll kind of demo our VAC system, wireless tool control, and then we'll be able to hit it in the same.
I keep saying this about all the tools, but I need to get one of these. It's one of the first tools that comes off the truck. You grab your impact and you grab your circular saw. It's a tool that's going to be used all day, every day on the construction site.
Ryan, thank you for touring our booth this morning for DEWALT World of Concrete 2026 booth setup. Last thing I want you to do before you leave is to leave your mark. If you could, please give me your name and initials up there, and have a great day.
Awesome, thank you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it.